Warriors forced to face long-suspected LeBron James reality after Jimmy Butler update. It's the summer of superstar speculation again, and there's one name dominating NBA conversations more than any other: LeBron James. As the King heads into his 23rd season, the league is buzzing with what's next: title dreams, when's his last, and possible trade rumors. Could LeBron leave the Lakers? Could he join forces with Stephen Curry? And what would that mean for Jimmy Butler, who's barely had time to unpack in Golden State? For a hot minute, it felt like the wildest NBA crossover event in history might become reality. LeBron James and Stephen Curry on the same team, chasing one last ring. But dreams are easy to sell, hard to match. With Golden State reportedly among the teams exploring a trade for James, fans started dreaming of an Avengers-level team-up in the Bay. But then came the cold splash of reality. What stopped it? It wasn't cap space or a lack of interest from LeBron. It was, surprisingly, Stephen Curry's title window and the front office's belief that Jimmy Butler might give them a better shot. It all started with Rich Paul's comment that LeBron wants to compete for a championship. That opened the door for teams like the Mavericks, Clippers, Cavaliers, and yes, the Warriors to inquire about what it might take to land the four-time champ. ESPN's Dave McMenamin confirmed interest, but for all of LeBron's greatness and at 40, while he's still a light, averaging 24.4 ppg, 7.8 rpg, and 8.2 apg on 51.3% shooting, there's no doubt he fits what Golden State needs now. On the Warriors Plus Minus podcast, Tim Kawakami said, "I don't want to run down LeBron James. It's freaking LeBron James. But I think you shorten a window. The Curry window. I think you shorten that window if you get LeBron at 40 years old. You don't extend it." Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler, gritty and tenacious, gave the Warriors a much-needed defensive identity after a chaotic season. Kawakami argues the franchise has to win a title while Steph Curry is still a light. Bringing in a 40-year-old LeBron might add short-term talent, but it doesn't extend the franchise's realistic title hopes. It risks condensing them into an even smaller window. While Butler might not extend the window much either, Butler at least helps keep the window open. With Jimmy, the team still has a fighting chance each year without risking everything on one last run with a soon-to-retire LeBron. On the other hand, the whispers say that the Lakers don't want Jimmy Butler's contract. According to The Athletic, the team has been resistant to taking on longer-term contracts in an effort to maintain flexibility. If the Lakers were to, hypothetically, trade James to the Golden State Warriors for Jimmy Butler, who is nearly 36, they would have Butler under contract for the 2026-27 season at nearly $57 million. That essentially kills the only realistic framework for a LeBron to Warriors trade, unless another team jumps in or LeBron accepts a buyout, which, let's be honest, is not happening. Even with Jonathan Kuminga and picks added, the Warriors would need to offload Butler. The takeaway: as legendary as LeBron James is, he's a ticking clock. Curry's title window is already narrow. Bringing in James might slam it shut, not extend it. And for a team still reeling from losing Klay Thompson and juggling luxury tax concerns, that's a gamble they might not be willing to make, especially if it means losing Jimmy. Where does Jimmy Butler's future headed? Jimmy Butler was supposed to be the answer. The tough, win-now star to pair with Curry and Draymond. But now his name is being floated in almost every hypothetical scenario involving LeBron or even Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that raises one big question: is Butler just a placeholder for something bigger? Kawakami again on Warriors Plus Minus. I don't think they would trade Butler for LeBron. And they could. That would be the money situation. I don't think they would. He's a better player than Jimmy, even at 40, or going to be 41. I just don't think the fit is exactly right. And here's the wild part. Kawakami says they prefer to keep Butler in case Giannis becomes available. What if Giannis says, "I want to go to the Warrior game," and guess what contract you'd have to trade if you could get Giannis? It would have to be Jimmy Butler. In other words, Butler might not be the final piece. He might just be the bridge to the next piece. That's the cruel irony of being a star on a team hunting for a megastar. You're always one phone call away from being sacrificed. But for now, the Golden State Warriors do love what he brings. Even if the Butler era in Golden State is short, it's already impactful. And for a team trying to squeeze one last ring out of the Curry era, that impact might matter more than the legacy of adding LeBron. As dramatic as a LeBron-Curry pairing would be, don't expect it to happen unless something major shifts. Stephen Curry's championship window is precious, and the Warriors believe Jimmy Butler gives them a better shot right now than a 40-year-old LeBron. That's not a slight on LeBron. That's just cold, hard basketball math. And for Butler, his future might be uncertain, but for now, he's the man in Golden State. Whether he's a pillar or a pawn in a bigger play, his presence is shaping the next chapter of the Warriors' story.